A man comes home while news about the 9/11 attacks plays on his TV. He sets several cell phones on a table, then goes to another room to pray. Partway through, someone covers his head with a bag and takes him away to a detention center. 8 years later, a group of new soldiers walks past the cells, where detainees shout at them. The recruits receive a short briefing and a quick tour. After that, a senior officer named Ransdell asks for volunteers to help restrain a difficult prisoner. One of the newcomers, Cole, steps forward. Cole is told to hold the prisoner's arm. She tries, but he elbows her, forcing her to move back. Other soldiers manage to pin him down. As they take him out of the cell, he spits at Cole. She reacts and kicks him before he is strapped to a wheelchair and locked up again. Later, the incident from earlier is discussed on the bus. Ransdell tries to flirt with Cole, but she isn't interested. That night, she talks to her mom on a video call. The next day, Cole is told to hand out books to the detainees. When she tries to offer one man a book, he becomes hostile. Ransdell steps in and tells him to settle down. The man agrees to take a book, but only if Ransdell gives it to him. Ransdell comments that some prisoners don't like taking anything from a woman. Cole then moves the cart to another cell, number 105. The man inside complains that he has been waiting 2 years for the last Harry Potter book. Annoyed, Cole tells him he has to choose from what's available. He asks for the Azkaban book, and Cole, confused, asks if it's an Arabic title. The man laughs and explains it's part of the Harry Potter series. Later, Cole goes for a run and looks out at the bay. A new day begins, and she starts her shift by walking through the cells to check on the detainees. At cell 105, the detainee tries to start a conversation with Cole, but she remains silent. He calls her Blondie and asks for her name, but she ignores him. He then tells her that his name is Allie and continues trying to talk. Cole finally tells him to be quiet, comparing him to a chatty character from a movie. Allie admits he doesn't know the film, and she snaps that it was probably banned where he's from. Confused, he asks if she means Germany. Meanwhile, another prisoner mutters something under his breath in his own language, while Allie keeps talking. Soon after, several detainees begin carefully wrapping their Qurans in white cloths. Allie then asks for water, and promises to stop talking if she gives him some. Cole opens the slot in his door to hand over a bottle, but instead, Allie throws a cup of human waste at her. The commotion draws other soldiers rushing over to help, and a separate team is called in to restrain Allie, ending the chaotic moment. Later, the soldiers take a small boat out for fishing, and Ransdell repeatedly tries to flirt with Cole. That evening, they have a party, and Cole drinks more than she should. Feeling dizzy, she steps into the bathroom and notices some magazines intended for adults. Ransdell follows her inside, and she jokes about what she has found. They begin to kiss, but when he doesn't stop after she asks him to, she quickly pushes him away. Meanwhile, Allie is being moved from place to place as a form of punishment. When Cole returns to the cell block, she sees guards searching his cell. She picks up a cup and notices a careful drawing he had made on it. Another soldier takes the cup and bags it as evidence, leaving her unsettled. As she leaves, Cole watches Allie being brought back by 2 guards, exhausted and barely able to walk. Later, in a quiet moment, she searches for his file and turns through the pages, discovering photos of Allie unconscious and injured. The images weigh heavily on her, highlighting the harsh reality of his situation. The last photo shows hands gently holding his face. Cole flips through Allie's records and notices that he has multiple past offenses. Among the files, she sees a note labeled Alfred Hitchcock and asks another soldier what it means. He explains that it indicates a psychiatrist had evaluated Allie. She thanks him and leaves, while he returns to quietly playing solitaire on his computer. During lunch, another soldier, Cruz, joins Cole at the table. She asks him if he has ever read Harry Potter. He laughs and admits that he hasn't, then asks why she cares. Cole quickly changes the subject, sensing it's not important. Later, while doing her rounds, Cole notices Allie working on a Sudoku puzzle. Eventually, he asks her if she knows how to play. He explains that he has finished all the Sudoku books available to him and has begun creating his own puzzles. He talks about Sudoku for a while and mentions that he had attended university. He tries to share one of his puzzles with her, but Cole politely declines, reminding him that would break the rules. Ali pauses for a moment, nodding in understanding, and agrees, saying it's important not to break the rules or let anger take over. Then, with a mischievous smile, he jokingly tells Cole that the Sudoku contained a secret message and flushes it down the toilet, making them both chuckle quietly. He calls them terrorists, and Cole sharply tells him to be quiet. She also lets him know that the Harry Potter book he has been asking about isn't in the library, even though another guard had claimed it was. He apologizes for insisting and admits that not knowing how the story ends has been making him anxious. At the same time, the prisoners gather in the cafeteria to hold a prayer, while the soldiers conduct a flag-raising ceremony nearby. 8 months later, Cole tries to convince the prisoners to eat during the 5th day of a hunger strike. They refuse, and she warns them firmly that they already know what will happen next, emphasizing the consequences they face if they continue to resist. Later, a prisoner is taken from his cell and restrained while receiving an IV. A senior officer asks the soldiers if they know why some prisoners are refusing to eat. Cole speaks up, saying she heard that one prisoner wanted an exercise machine in order to eat. Then, the officer goes to the prisoner and grants his wish. Later, Cole watches Ali while he plays with a ball inside the cage. She asks Ali if he uses the exercise machine. He says no, insisting that no prisoner would actually use it. Curious, Cole asks why, and Ali suggests she ask the prisoner himself, Mahood. He mentions that Mahmoud once managed 12 kicks on the machine in a single session, while another prisoner supposedly reached 40 kicks, though he's not certain because only the guards watch. He suspects the other prisoner might be exaggerating. Cole jokes that if Mahmoud beats 40 kicks, she will vouch for him. Mahmoud tries again but reaches only 8, and jokingly calls it 48. Cole tells him that well-behaved prisoners get to play soccer with others, and that he could join if he followed the rules more closely. He responds that he knows, but refuses, saying that participating would mean supporting their abuse. After a moment, he calms down and tells Cole he isn't joking, pointing out that he is smart enough to have attended university. They share a quiet laugh together, breaking the tension, just as Mahmoud walks by and shouts angrily at Ali. Ransdell calls Cole over and demands to know what she and Ali were talking about. She brushes it off, saying it's nothing, but he scolds her, saying that if it's nothing, then they shouldn't be talking at all. Later, Ali calls out from his cell, proudly saying he managed 20 kicks, which makes Cole laugh quietly. Soon after, Ransdell asks Cole to help supervise the showers, claiming that his other men are busy. He orders Ali to take a shower. Ali hesitates with Cole watching, but Ransdell threatens to use force if he doesn't obey. Reluctantly, Ali follows the order, and Ransdell ensures Cole observes, despite this violating both the rules and the detainees' religious guidelines. That night, other soldiers find Cole drinking quietly. She tries to sympathize with one of them, who had been assigned to watch the showers, but he says the block was calm and nothing happened. Slowly, Cole realizes that Ransdell had lied to her. Determined, she files a complaint against him and is summoned to meet a higher-ranking officer. The officer listens but ultimately sides with Ransdell, dismissing Cole's report on the grounds that she was too friendly with Ali. Cole is informed that a hearing about the case will be scheduled soon and is then dismissed. She makes her way to the mess hall and sits down with Cruz. He asks casually if the food is good, then mentions that someone had tried to hang themselves the other night. Cole is startled, assuming it must have been a detainee, but Cruz clarifies that it was actually a guard, and that the guard survived. Cole begins to speak, saying she feels guilty, but Cruz stops her and warns not to take it on herself, suggesting that the detainees might try to manipulate her emotions. He soon leaves, and shortly after, Ransdell walks by, giving her a teasing remark before continuing on. As Cole continues her work as a guard, she becomes increasingly aware of the detainees' hardships and starts to grow distant from the other soldiers. While cleaning a cell, she finds herself quietly observing and connecting with the detainees in a way she hadn't before. Meanwhile, Ali glances at the clock outside his cell and notices that Cole is not nearby. He asks a soldier if the time is correct, and when he tries to ask where she is gone, he receives no response, leaving him unsettled. During the night shift, Cole walks quietly past Ali's cell and notices him asleep. As she begins to leave, Ali calls out softly and slowly gets up. She tells him to rest, but he admits that he rarely sleeps well. He opens his mouth to ask why she is there but stops, realizing she cannot answer. In a low voice, Cole says she reported someone. Ali, unfamiliar with the term snitch, assumes she means a Harry Potter reference. She pauses for a moment and then explains what the word really means. Ali begins to piece things together and realizes she reported Ransdell, even though Cole does not confirm it directly. He asks why she is at the base at all, and she turns the question back to him. He reassures her that he is not involved with any terrorist group. Their conversation shifts to their hometowns. Ali says he is from Germany, and Cole shares that she comes from a small town far away. The moment is quiet but full of small human connection. A soldier walks by with a cup of coffee and tells Cole that her night shift will not last much longer. Ali asks for the date, and she replies that it is July 14th. Realization dawns on him that she will be leaving next month, and the thought hangs in the air between them. Every August, when the guards change, he asks her if she would try to return to the camp. She refuses firmly. Cole tells him that her time there taught her a lot, and that she believes the new guards will eventually understand the same lessons. Ali leans closer and asks exactly what she has learned, reminding her sharply that they are on opposite sides. He slowly opens his Quran and carefully removes a hitting blade tucked inside. Kneeling on the floor, he holds the knife steadily, and Cole reacts immediately, pressing it against her throat. She warns him that any attempt to allow the other guards will be met with immediate action. She tries to calm him with quiet words, but he explains, almost in a whisper, that he is exhausted from being trapped, that he barely feels alive anymore. Cole takes a deep breath and introduces herself as Amy from Moorhaven, Florida. Then, hesitantly, she asks if there is a zoo in Bremen. Ali looks at her in surprise, caught off guard by the question. She explains that she had visited a zoo as a child because she wanted to see something beyond the limits of her small hometown. Seeing the animals confined in small cages made her uncomfortable and sad. Ali scoffs, assuming she means that the zookeepers had no choice in keeping the animals locked up. She shakes her head, insisting that the animals are unfairly restricted and should have the chance to be free, speaking softly but with conviction. Cole walks around the block several times, her mind restless and her heart racing. Every step feels heavy with tension. When she finally checks on Ali again, she sees that he is still alive, still holding the knife to his throat, but now tears streak down his face. After a long pause, he slowly lets the knife drop and places it gently in her hands. Cole holds his hand, and for a few quiet moments, they share their grief in silence, both of them crying together. Later, she is shown packing up her few belongings carefully, folding clothes and gathering what she can carry before quietly leaving her room. Ali lies back on his bed, staring at the ceiling, until a soft knock breaks the stillness. A new soldier stands there, pushing a cart filled with books for the detainees. Ali starts teasing him, trying to mask his curiosity, but then something in the cart catches his eye. He points and asks for it, and the soldier hands him the last Harry Potter book. Slowly, Ali opens it to the cover page and finds a small note from Cole tucked inside. A faint smile crosses his face. The story closes with Cole walking away from the camp, leaving behind the small gift, while Ali sits on his bed, finally holding and reading the book he had waited so long to get.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay connected with us.